my god. Oh my god. Did you guys just see that? I just got run over by that person over there. What? The car's not even on. I wasn't even driving. Oh my god. I think my arms and legs are broken. Why me? So recently I was listening to a podcast about the teacher's point of view of their students and what goes on in their school and classrooms. And at one point I clicked on an episode about school fights, and the amount of memories that came into my head, it was just too much. And this video is pretty much going to be exactly what it is. All the school crimes I witnessed, especially in high school, maybe some middle school ones too. Anyways, let's go straight to it. High school, the time when opinions grow and passion is released. Fights are not new to the subject, but my god, there was one time they became a holy trend for like a week straight. And you knew when there was going to be a fight because all you would see is a horde of kids just piling all together, yelling and screaming and chanting along. And also another indicator is just when you just see a phone out. When you see a phone out, there's probably a fight. Now, I never been in one because who's really gonna pick a fight with the quiet kid in the back? You know, the little quiet Asian girl that doesn't really talk to anybody. Like I said in previous videos, I'm a witnesser in life. And my god, in high school, I witnessed a fight in the girls' locker room that was unbelievable. In my opinion, girls' fights can get really savagery. There's a lot of scratching, a lot of hair pulling. There's this one time after PE where I don't know what happened, but I remember I got done changing out of my PE clothes and I just hear some yelling followed with like a huge slam. And I look down and I see a girl has just fallen right behind me. Obviously, I was confused and kind of taken back, but then I looked up and I saw another girl just charging at her like a bull. Like, you can see the steams coming out of her ears and just grab her weave. And I'm not kidding when I say that she threw her against the lockers. Now, my school had 3 stories worth of lockers, and she threw her to the second one, which is pretty high. Even though it didn't hit the third one, it's still, that second one's pretty high. Like, either that girl was just that strong, or the other girl was just as light as a feather, because she fell on the concrete bench like it was a scene from a supervillain movie. It was like DC came over and just wrote them a fight scene script. And they must have had superpowers because that girl just fell and stood right back up like she didn't just make a huge dent in the wall. And she just started pulling on the other girl's hair until they was just stuck in this position going back and forth, just yelling and screaming of who knows what. To be honest, it sounded like a lot of gibberish and I don't even think they knew what they were arguing about. Mind you, this was awkward witnessing because they were both pretty much half naked. Like, they're both basically in their underwear. I mean, one girl managed to get her shorts on, but that was it. And at one point, one of their hair extensions, or at least I hope it was a hair extension, got just ripped off of her head. Finally, one of the PE teachers came in to break them up, but that was the first time I was up in front of a fight. There was this other time that I was eating lunch with my friend group, and you see some kids piling up, so you know it's a fight. All I remember was a security guard came in to break them up, but then you see one of the boys escape and did some Mission Impossible Tom Cruise stunts all over the campus, because he managed somehow parkour up to one of the hallway roofs and started running and jumping onto the other roofs until he was finally cornered by like 4 different security guards. This was seriously straight out of a movie scene, and I'm like, how did you get to the roof? Because I didn't see any ladders anywhere. So I'm like, he must have climbed the windows, or he just found a secret entrance that no one's aware of. But regardless of that, everyone is filming, so it might as well be a movie. And another thing to know is, apparently in my school, if you film or seen around the fight, you are also considered in the fight or to blame. I don't know. I just know if you start filming, then you get in a lot of trouble. And I know that because I remember the principal came into one of my classrooms and just started yelling at this one girl for filming, and she started crying her eyes out. I don't know if I was shocked or if I felt bad, but it was crazy. So I was like, okay, ever since that day, I'm like, okay, I better not be seeing your fight. But anyways, there was another fight one time. This was also in a PE class where everyone was waiting on the field for a teacher to come out. Now, these 2 guys, it was so funny because they weren't arguing about something, but they were being all gentlemanlike because they both equally agreed to fight. Like, one of the guys was just like, I challenge you to a duel until our superior comes out, and whoever wins cannot say shit to the other. And I was like, this is the most non-violent, violent fight I've ever witnessed. And not gonna lie, it wasn't a very interesting one either. Like, I'm not saying fighting is good. It's not good. And it was probably best at how it ended. But they got everyone riled up. And at the end, people were actually just leaving the fight. Because neither one of them was able to land a single punch or hit or slap on the other guy. Like, basically what happened is that they were both on just defense and both trying to score a punch. But the other guy was always like 3 feet away from the punch. So you just see two guys making a huge circle around the field, punching the air for like 5 minutes until the teacher came around and they stopped. Like, that was the most uneventful fight to ever be witnessed. But you know what was one of the most craziest fights I've ever seen being escalated? One time during lunch around the end of the year, there was a horde of fights happening all at once. Like, this was the last chance to fight whoever you wanted to fight before the school ended. 7 fights occurred that day. I was counting. But that's not including other lunch periods. So for all I know, those freshmen could have gone monkey crazy. But what made it so memorable was 2 things. The first one was that seeing 7 different hordes of people separated throughout campus and the security guards are all wearing bright yellow. So it looked like a swarm of bees are going to like 7 different nests. And from what I heard was that there's these 2 guys that really wanted to fight without getting interrupted. So they got their friends to make a decoy fight way in the grass field so that they can fight in the opposite side of campus. Like, I don't know if that was true, but if it's true, that is wild. And from what I gathered, it actually worked because they were not interrupted for a while, but sooner or later they eventually got caught. Anyways, I want to make this video short. I don't actually know how short this is going to be until I edit it. And trust me, there was way more crazy stuff and way more fights that has happened in my high school. So this barely skims the surface. But for now, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. I'm probably going to make a part 2.